Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about education. And the first thing I want to talk about with education is a quote that I came up with, which is if you educate the mind, you better the individual. But if you educate the soul, you better the world. So we often think that education is just about information. But it's what we do with that information that becomes much more important. If we can take education and out of education, the information, make it knowledge that is then actionable, then we can, in so many ways, better the world. I often say the second quote that I want to give you is that we try to make the right decision at the right time and for the right reason. The right decision, the right time, the right reason. And the important aspect of that is that through the use of information, which becomes knowledge, we can then have the ability to make the right decisions in our life. And that life includes our professional, but also our personal life. And therein showcases the true value of education. Without that background, it becomes nearly impossible to make these types of right decisions. The only thing that we have to rely upon without knowledge is the experiences that we've had. And if you haven't had the right experiences, it's going to be difficult to make the right decisions. For instance, if you want to run a computer business and you've only run a yogurt business, the only experiences that you've had to rely upon to make those decisions would be the yogurt business, not necessarily applicable. But if you have educations in computer science and computer literatures, then you may be able to utilize some knowledges of running a business from your experiences, but then couple them with detailed knowledges that you have from education. And so with education, we really try to give people the background to make the right decisions. Professionally, we just gave you an example, the computer firm, but also personally. There's a reason why in education we study ethics and morality and sociology and anthropology. Those are the studies of peoples and histories. We study what people did 2 and 3 and 4 and 500 years ago because by its very nature, people don't change much. The people today have similar philosophies as they did 500, even 1,000 years ago. There's changes here and there, but the basic nature of a person, the self-esteems, the confidences, the perceptions in some ways, the lack of confidences in a person, just by nature of a person growing up, they have in their experiences very similar things. And if you look at the great peoples and the not so great peoples in histories, you can see how from one century to another, one generation to another, there's certainly some commonalities and similarities with those. And so with education, if we're presented to what I call the good knowledges, we have a chance of being good. Socrates said, "The ignorant man can do no good." And what he meant is, if you don't know what's good, you can't do what's good. But he also said that if you present people with good, they will do good. It doesn't happen for everybody, but that's the importances of education. So here we talked about really the very basic. Education means to bring out or lead out, meaning to bring out or lead our capacity for life. And so what we want to learn with education is we want to, and what it does for us is give us the knowledges, and those knowledges that we can use to make the right decision at the right time and for the right reason. And in some way, if we do that, we really could not just educate the mind to better the individual, but we really could educate our soul to better our world. Hope this helps everybody. Always look forward to our next presentation. Take care.